Football is slowly creeping up, less than 90 days till the start of the regular season. So what did teams do this offseason? Implement rushing attacks, two tight end systems. After all, it is a copycat league. We saw the Wildcat catch the NFL slipping, and within a couple of seasons we saw several teams have a Wildcat package. A few years ago we saw Bill Belichick dominate the league with a two tight end offense. Now at this year's minicamps we're seeing the teams make sure they have several threats at the tight end position, a la the Falcons and Cowboys. The Bengals bulked up a tight end too. Now they have Tyler Eifert to go along with Jermaine Gresham. This past year's draft was fairly strong in tight ends as well. 6 tight ends going in the first 3 rounds. Now this previous season we saw a quarterback option offense take the NFL by storm, to the point where now we can name at least 3 quarterbacks that can average over 30 yards on the ground to say the least. Kaepernick wasn't even a starter at this point last year. Russell impressed everyone because for his height he could throw the football. You can even throw Aaron Rodgers in there who has the ability to tuck the ball and get the first down. It's the new style of football we're watching enter the league. Dual threat quarterbacks that have been doing this dating back to Pop Warner football. It will be an interesting NFL season, that's for sure. A Chicago Bears team without Urlacher, Peyton Manning in that offense in Denver, and a Ravens team without Lewis is what we'll see. But in the case of Peyton Manning, could the perfect offense be the problem? You have Welker, Demaryius Thomas, a Decker. What happens if they once again fall short? Expectations are high in the Mile High City. I mean, Peyton Manning, or P-Money as I like to call him, has a couple years left in him, give or take. Failure is not an option. Now, in the case of the Bears, we're going to see their offense take control of the team. They're banking on the Marshall-Cutler connection to take more of a flight. With the new head coach, maybe they take control of the NFC North Division. Brandon Marshall says he's never been around the kind of leadership on offense like the one head coach Trestman displays. But leadership can only take you so far, as we see with Tim Tebow. Now going back to a previous topic, Tim Tebow signed with the New England Patriots this past week. Wow, I am not surprised one bit. I want to say I am, but Bill Belichick has brought in free agents before. Now granted, he swung and missed on a few of these players, but never has it affected the team. Now with Tebow comes a media frenzy, but one media storm is going to hover over New England for a whole season. Like, let's be serious. New England Patriots players, they know how to deal with the media, eluding questions while still portraying a strong message. Tebow will go in there as an easy player to coach. No quarterback comparisons will be made, and if Brady suddenly goes 0 for 8, we will not hear any Tebow chants. Patriots fans know their formula for victories. Now, where does Tim Tebow fit in all of this? Well, let's list the possibilities. Tebow could definitely be seen at the goal line. I mean, he did that in Florida among many other things. And with his strength and elusiveness, who's to say he won't get any opportunities down there? We can also see him lead an option attack. We can't ignore the fact that he's finally reunited with the coach who drafted him. I mean, we could have the next Brady Belichick duo for all we know. It's kind of funny. Tebow signs with the Patriots and immediately people left and right are taking credit for fixing his mechanics. Former Panthers quarterback Chris Weinke said he's thrown with great accuracy after fixing Tebow's mechanics. We haven't even seen him throw a pass yet, and people are already saying, hey, look, I fixed him, you're welcome. No. We'll see his mechanics when he has a pass rush after him. Nonetheless, I like this signing. Before we switch topics, one more thing about the whole Tebow thing, something people are overlooking, not even mentioning at all. The beauty of this whole signing is that he's going to get to play the Jets twice a year. You think Belichick's not going to give him 4 or 5 plays against them? At the goal line, just let Tebow run right through Rex Ryan's defense. That would make major headlines on SportsCenter. So it's the NBA Finals. We're seeing some amazing basketball here in the month of June. We have the San Antonio Spurs facing off against the defending champions Miami Heat. Great finals matchup. We have the savvy veterans, Popovich dynasty, going up against Miami's Big 3 or 2.5, whatever you want to call them. It's great for basketball too because the people get to see the NBA's best player on the biggest stage. It's not like AI where we only got to see him in the finals once. We're seeing LeBron James on the biggest stage, and frankly, he's been 50-50, you know. He's like that kid at the edge of the pool, testing out the water, doesn't know whether to dive in or not, and when he finally decides to jump in, he has to leave. And if LeBron keeps playing like this, that very well could happen to him. You know, you just haven't seen that tenacity on the face of LeBron James until Game 4. Game 1, I didn't mind the way he played, but you can't go the first 3 games scoring under 20 points when it's the NBA Finals. Now in Game 4, we saw a different LeBron. He looked in rhythm, got to the free throw line, decisive, lethal. But Game 4 belonged to Dwayne Wade. Boy did he come alive, had people thinking it was the 06 Wade. Flash, blocking jump shots, fast break, his presence was felt. That's the cold-bloodedness and viciousness LeBron lacks. If LeBron had that, we'd be looking at him like a Jordan, a Barkley, a Kobe, a Shaq, that assassin mentality dominating the game. Which leads me to my next point. This series is important because we're witnessing a standoff. We have the Heat, the Wade, the LeBron, leaders of the new school, the Melos, Durants, Dwights, and a few more names. Up against these guys, the old fellas, the post-Jordan eras, players taking a stand, just straight out dominating these young phenoms, as you people like to call them. You take away the Heat championship last year, and the last team that won a championship was a veteran team led by Nowitzki, Kidd, Marion. After that, we had the Lakers, Kobe, World Peace, Gasol. Before that, we had the Celtics, and Lord knows how old those guys were. I mean, you keep going back and you run again to the Spurs, till you finally run into the 06 Heat with Wade, who had a big veteran presence with Shaq. However, if we nominate someone to represent this new school era of basketball, flapping basketball so to speak, it'd have to be Dwayne Wade. Unless LeBron wins another ring, then it'd be a different story. I mean, Wade, been through several All-Star games, has a ring, been the face of a franchise for a bunch of years now, and never has there been a scandal behind him. So with that in mind, those big superstars, Melo, Wade, Durant, LeBron, Howard, CP3, yeah, we'll throw him in there too. All together, they only have 3 rings to attest for. Are you serious? You praise these players so high with commercials, nicknames like the King? Man, LeBron James didn't even win something at a professional level yet, and they were calling him a king. What comes out of all of this? We have to stop praising these players as if they had won something, as if they've won anything, matter of fact. Actually get on them for not producing. You want to be big name superstars and win championships, because these guys are Magic Johnson, no Kobe winning championships early in their careers. We praise those guys, and then it takes 6 years for you guys to finally recognize an elite point guard in Tony Parker. The man has 3 rings, more than Durant, Melo, CP3, and Dwight put together. It takes you guys until now for you guys to finally show love to a Tim Duncan. He's called Mr. Fundamental for a reason. In a way, we have a Ray Lewis with him, once-in-a-lifetime player, the model franchise player. In fact, he's played in 3 different decades in the NBA. With all that being said, the next 3 games will most definitely be interesting. Will LeBron help his legacy? If he loses the series, he goes under 500 in the finals, and no bueno. We're going to see how Popovich keeps on playing LeBron, because we're watching some great defense from Leonard, a young kid who has to mark LeBron. But behind him, he knows he has players in the likes of Duncan, Green, Parker, all getting in on the action defensively. Something that can't go unnoticed either is Mike Miller's performance. Boy, is that what you call a bench player, ready to come in at any time. You saw the difference he was in the Eastern Conference Finals, and in the finals at times, he's responsible for keeping the Heat in the game. He's shooting over 50% from deep. Others who can't go unnoticed either, Neal, Green. Boy, did them bombard the Heat with 3s in the Game 3, along with Leonard. They all scored. With all that being said, the next 3 games will most definitely be interesting. Will LeBron help his legacy? He loses the series, he goes under 500 in the finals, and that is no bueno. We're going to see how Popovich keeps on playing LeBron, because we're watching some great defense from Kawhi Leonard. His responsibility? Guard the best player on the planet. But behind him, he knows he has players like Duncan, Green, Parker, all getting in on the action defensively. Something that can't go unnoticed either is Mike Miller's performance. Boy, is that what you call a bench player, ready to come in at any time. You saw the difference he made in the Eastern Conference Finals. And in the finals, at times, he's responsible for keeping the Heat in the game. He's shooting over 50%, at least from the 3-point line, that's to say. Others who can't go unnoticed either are Neal, Green, and Leonard. Boy, did they bombard the Heat with 3s in Game 3. Along with Leonard, they outscored their own big 3 of Parker, Duncan, and Ginobili. The Heat had no idea what had hit them. And Ginobili does not get a pass for his performance either. Offensively, he's looked lost. His shot has been inconsistent. You're giving me 5 points and 2 assists in the NBA Finals game? Listen, when you know Parker isn't 100% like we all knew in Game 4, I want you to penetrate the defense, generating offense. One thing to generate is ball movement, which we know will lead to opportunities for big-time three-point shooters in Gary Neal or Danny Green. Felt like the Spurs lacked ball movement in Game 4. Thiago Splitter has also had a rough stretch in the NBA Finals. We all know Brazil's represented him. I'm really proud of him. But Lord knows he cannot jump. I mean, he's been getting blocked left and right. The Miami Heat have been playing tennis with his shot, so to speak. But props to him, because even though he keeps on getting blocked, he still goes up to the rim. He's not shying away from the play. In the finals, coaching is a must, and we're seeing it. Popovich daring James to shoot, Spoelstra benching his savvy defender Shane Battier, abolishing him from the rotation until Game 4. Then he comes in and he has a key block on Duncan. And then actually starting Mike Miller over the Birdman in Game 4. Hey, that move right there technically only got them 0 points, but allowed them to spread the floor, essentially creating more ball movement. Popovich used the whole bench. Spoelstra says, I'll only play 9 guys and still win. It's the young coach versus the old wizard. For those who don't know, 14 of the coaches this past season served under Greg Popovich. That's not counting assistants, GMs. Popovich, Hall of Famer. Spoelstra wins this one, and he's pretty much in. Now, a lot can happen in the next 3 games. We have Parker's injury, We have to see how that goes. We will see Game 4 LeBron James, or will we see a Game 2 LeBron James, where he only had 4 points in the first half? Is Ginobili going to find his way, or are we going to see the same Dwayne Wade? It's the finals, and nothing seems certain but one thing. Dear Sears, we'll go back to Miami.